U.S. carriers dominate the oceans with power you can see. The Type 076 threatens them with something far harder to detect and far harder to stop. December 27, 2024, Shanghai. A ship slides into the water that doesn't fit any category the West has ever built. Not quite a carrier, not quite an amphibious assault ship, something else. The Chinese call it the Sichuan. The Pentagon calls it a problem. And if you think this is just another copycat vessel trying to mimic American power, you're dangerously wrong. This is the ship that could make the most expensive weapons in the US Navy look like relics of a dying era. This is the Type 076, and it changes everything. For 70 years, the aircraft carrier has been the ultimate symbol of naval supremacy. Massive, nuclear-powered, floating cities that carry entire air forces. The USS Gerald R. Ford, America's newest supercarrier, costs $13 billion. It displaces 100,000 tons. It carries over 5,000 sailors and aviators. And it projects American power across every ocean on Earth. But here's the problem. That power comes at a cost. The United States can barely afford to lose. Lose one carrier, and you lose a decade of shipbuilding. Lose one pilot, and you lose years of training. Lose one battle, and you lose a war. China looked at this equation and saw an opportunity, not to build a bigger carrier, but to build a smarter one. The Type 076 isn't trying to outpunch the US Navy. It's trying to outthink it, and it might just succeed. Let's go back. They've already built the Type 071, a respectable amphibious transport dock. Then the Type 075, a 40,000-ton helicopter carrier that mirrors the US Wasp class. Good ships, capable ships, but limited. Helicopters are slow, short-ranged, vulnerable. The US Navy solved this problem with the F-35B, a vertical takeoff stealth fighter that turns amphibious ships into mini-carriers. China didn't have that technology. Their engineers couldn't build a jet engine capable of vertical flight, so they were stuck, right? Wrong. When you can't build the plane, you build a better ship. Control. The Chinese Navy is looking for a 21-megawatt gas turbine, an electromagnetic catapult system, and facilities for unmanned aerial vehicles. Western analysts scratch their heads. Why would an amphibious ship need a catapult? Catapults are for carriers. And why the obsession with drones? The answer wouldn't become clear until December 2024, Pudong Zhonghua Shipyard, Shanghai. A massive hull sits in a dry dock, wider than anything China has ever built in this class. Dual islands, reinforced flight deck, a single ominous trench running down the port side, not a ski jump like Russia's Kuznetsov. A catapult, the first electromagnetic aircraft launch system ever installed on an amphibious assault ship. The Sichuan, hull 51, slides into the water, and the world realizes this isn't an amphibious ship that happens to carry planes. This is the world's first drone supercarrier. Here's where it gets fascinating. The Type 076 is approximately 260 meters long, displaces between 40 and 50,000 tons. Neutral comparison, roughly the size of a US America-class amphibious ship. But that's where the similarities end. Deep in the hull of the Sichuan is a piece of technology the United States is still trying to perfect, a medium-voltage direct current integrated power system, MVDC for short. The brainchild of a man the Chinese Navy calls a national treasure, Rear Admiral Ma Weiming. Here's why this matters. Traditional ships use alternating current, AC power. It's heavy, it's inefficient, it requires massive transformers to handle the electricity needed for catapults and weapons. The US Navy tried this on the Zumwalt-class destroyers. It's been plagued with failures. Ma Weiming's team built something better. Direct current, DC power, precise, no transformers, no frequency limitations, no bulky infrastructure. The engines can run at whatever speed is most fuel efficient. The system can handle massive power surges, like launching a 20-ton drone off a deck in under 3 seconds, without flinching. Ma Weiming himself claimed this technology puts China 15 years ahead of the United States. Bold claim, Weiming himself claimed. But when you look at the Sichuan launching drones with an electromagnetic catapult, while the US Ford class still struggles with EMALS reliability, it's hard to argue they're full-size carrier. Why? Because this ship isn't launching ruggedized fighter jets, built to withstand crushing G-forces. It's launching drones with lightweight airframes, fragile wings, delicate sensors. A shorter catapult means violent acceleration. A longer catapult means violent acceleration, means a gentler, smoother launch. The Type 076 is engineered for unmanned warfare. Satellite imagery captures something chilling on the deck of the Sichuan. A shrouded shape, angular, unfamiliar. Analysts enhance the image. Quiet realization. It's a mock-up. The GJ-11, sharp sword, precise, optimized to be nearly invisible to radar. The navalized variant, the GJ-21, is fitted with folding wings and an arrestor hook, built specifically for carrier operations. Here's the nightmare scenario for the US Navy. Controlled escalation. Dozens, maybe hundreds, of drones. Large strike drones like the GJ-11, small expendable drones, decoys, electronic warfare platforms, all coordinated through the ship's dual-island command center. One island for navigation, one island for controlling a robotic air force. This is what the Chinese call bee-swarm warfare. Imagine this. A US carrier strike group is operating east of Taiwan. The Sichuan is 200 miles away, sitting in contested waters. It launches a swarm of 50 cheap decoy drones. They flood the airspace, lighting up every radar screen. The US destroyers respond. They fire their SM-6 interceptor missiles, $4 million per shot. They shoot down 10 drones, $40 million spent. But those weren't the real threat. While the destroyers were busy swatting decoys, a dozen GJ-11 stealth drones, flying low and silent, slipped past the perimeter, each one carrying precision-guided munitions, each one targeting the radars that just gave away their positions. For all its revolutionary design, for all its technological leaps, the Type 76 has one glaring, potentially fatal weakness. It has only one catapult. One, a US supercarrier, has 4. If one breaks, you've still got 3. If one gets hit by a missile, the ship keeps fighting. The Sichuan, one lucky strike, one mechanical failure, one damaged track, and the entire fixed-wing capability of the ship is gone. Very useless trench in the deck. So why build it this way? Because China isn't planning to fight the US Navy in the middle of the Pacific. They're planning to fight in the Taiwan Strait, the South China Sea, the Near Seas, places where the Type 76 operates within range of land-based air cover, where it's supported by destroyers, submarines, and shore batteries, where a single ship doesn't need to survive alone. In December 2025, the People's Liberation Army conducted an exercise called Justice Mission 2025. 4 amphibious assault ships, including the Type 075 Hubei, encircled Taiwan in a simulated blockade. Aside, grounded, the Sichuan wasn't ready yet. But when it is, imagine this ship sitting east of Taiwan, launching persistent ISR drones that monitor every ship, every plane, every movement. Launching strike drones that can hit air defense sites before the invasion even begins. Launching swarms that overwhelm defenses. While manned fighters from the Fujian carrier strike from the other side, the Type 76 doesn't need to be invincible. It just needs to be effective. And in a war of attrition, where China can afford to lose one and build 2 more, while the US can't afford to lose even one supercarrier, the math starts to favor Beijing. So does the Type 76. Make US carriers look old, not in firepower, not in size, not in prestige, but in philosophy. Yes, the US Navy is still building ships, designed to win the last war. Massive, manned, exquisite, each one a symbol of American dominance, each one irreplaceable. China looked at that model and asked a different question. What if we made the plane disposable instead of the pilot? What if we made the ship affordable instead of the air wing? What if we stopped trying to match America's strengths and started exploiting America's weaknesses? The Sichuan completed its maiden sea trials in November 2025. By 2026, it was testing drone launches. By 2027, it could be operational. Rachin's trials. China is already building the second one. The age of the drone carrier has arrived, not with a bang, but with a silent, invisible swarm. The question isn't whether the Type 076 can beat a US carrier in a fair fight. The question is whether it will ever have to. Because in the future, China is building the fight will be over before the carrier even knows it's begun. And that's not a future the US Navy is ready for. Not yet.